everyone and welcome to a new video. I am finally, I feel like it's been too long, continuing with Berserk because I keep not being able to fit them in my schedules. But here we are with Volume 7. I'm very nervous, I'm very scared. I'm always so excited to read this and it takes an emotional toil, so I wish I ran more consistently, but also here we are finally. So obviously this is another video where I read every chapter, I stop and tell you what's going on and how I'm feeling, and it's a whole ride. So you with me on this whole ride reading Berserk. I don't know how many people actually enjoy those videos, but I enjoy making them and that's the point. Let's open this baby, huh? Do I have some scissors? I do not, but we can just do it like this maybe. That did not work out. Maybe I'll use these keys. These are my keys. Let's see. Hiya. Nope. Okay, wait. Do I have some scissors? Do I only have shit here? My desk is a mess. Okay, don't judge me. Oh, I did it, but you didn't see it. Let's see. I'm very excited. I'm very scared. It's a mix of emotions. It's so beautiful. Look at this baby. This plastic needs to go somewhere. Ah, it is stunning. And I am terrified. It smells wonderful. And again, very excited to start this now. Covers volume 19, 20 and 21. I feel like I read like 40 volumes. But I guess that's not incorrect. And as you can see, we have Casca right here. So we are starting with the trauma already. Yay. We are starting with Still in Conviction Arc, Birth Ceremony chapter. And now the first one is called The Black Swordsman on Holy Ground. So yeah, let's go. Let's do this. Let's be depressed. Okay, so we have Luca and another of the sex workers talking together, and they talk about dropping someone. Or they talk about dropping Casca, I don't know, because they took her in and like took care of her. And then they're like holy knights or whatever, like the people on the holy ground, because they're, you know, they're in the camp. Comes and hunts his kid, and then Luca comes out to defend her, and he's like, ha ha ha, I'm gonna take you both now. And then Guts comes and save her and asks if anyone has seen a woman with a brand. And then Luca's like, oh my god, a woman with a brand? Obviously thinks about Casca, and then we see Guts thinking like, Casca is here somewhere. So will they reunite soon? I hope so in this. With a little chapter of trauma, joking. Nothing specifically traumatic happened, but Guts was pretty badass. But yeah, now we're going into a chapter called Straying. What I can see right now is Guts fighting soldiers. Let's go. Okay, so as Luca is taking Guts to their tent where Casca's in, we have Casca and Nina going away. What's her name? Nina is one of the other girls who I think messed up in the last one when I went to the cave with the orgies. That was not the orgies. As they enter the tent, Casca and Nina has just gone, obviously, because timing. And now Casca and Nina are taken to, because they're sorcerers and they're gonna be burned on the stake or like in a fire. And then Guts is looking for them. And then we have the kid that is following Guts. I don't remember his name. The kid that he met in the village that wants to be like Guts. He has seen them being taken. So he's following them. He's on the case. I don't know if he knows that they're Casca, but he saw them and was thinking like, oh my god, kidnappers, and it's gonna help them. So we shall see. I'm scared for everyone. I don't think it's gonna end well, but that's what we have, and everything will be fine. Right, it will be fine. Yay. This chapter was called Ambition Boy Way Away. I think I forgot to say. This is crazy. So first we have the lady that's the leader. I don't remember her name. And that's saying that the Black Swordsman has arrived, and then she's like, well, we are going after these people in this cave, or like other people in another place. She doesn't specifically say cave, do you get what I mean? And then we have the little boy that was with Guts following them to this cave, and they are soon gonna like cut into Nina, but then he stops them and like throws rocks at them and sends Puck out to get Guts. And then Casca's mark is activated. I think it's like night falling, and then a lot of like demon-like creatures is coming from, you know, they're being attracted to her mark. That's the whole point. And then the knights shows up, and they dare to arrest the people that took Casca and Nina. So everyone is caught up on this, and then the boy is like kind of like on this little rock and like throwing rocks on them, and now the other supernatural creatures also arrived, and then the knights arrived, and the other people that actually took them are there. So there's a lot of like factions going on. Casca and Nina is in the middle of this, and I don't think it's gonna end well. So yeah, that's what we got. And now it is Den of the Devil, which I guess is very accurate for what's gonna happen. Well, like where they are. Oh, this is so intense. Okay, so we have battles happening everywhere. The creatures are coming to attack, like the knights. Lady Farnese is her name, by the way, that leads them. You know, that was taken by Guts in the last one. And the dude that is following Guts is called Isidro. I just forgot his name. And then whilst everyone is fighting, he jumps down to Casca and Nina and is like, come with me. And I try to escape, and then like this goat creature thing is like after the other people that kind of have like escape routes, but he's blocking them. And the knights are like, oh my god, monsters are real maybe, because these are like not normal creatures slash people. And then this huge creature has kind of taken hold of Casca right now and is like touching her, being gross. And then we see the knights outside the cave that is guarding it. They're like, oh, did something pass us by? And we see Gus like entering the cave. And then the next chapter is called The Reunion. So I'm getting goosebumps because that can only mean one thing, you know, and I feel like I've been waiting 400 years. So here we are finally. Let's see how they fare. Guts does show up in last moments. And we have this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful drawing of them. There's no words. Like, look at this. Like, that is stunning. He comes and protects her, and then they're fighting their way out. The Lady Farnese wants to follow them, but like they're being, what's it called, overwhelmed by like the other creatures. The heretics are also dead, a lot of them. And then as they're escaping, the goat dude shows up again. It's like, I want Casca, like the witch he calls her. And then he shoots him with his arm, and it's like telling Isidro to like take the girls out while he fights this goat thing. And then he says, Guts in the end of the chapter, he says, I'm taking her with me this time for sure, because he like keeps giving her to other people. I feel like since he said that, it's not gonna happen, but we shall see. We shall see. It hurts. Okay, so the next chapter, ambush. Let's go. Okay, Guts defeats the goat dude. There's a whole fight. He has like small grenades, which he hasn't used before, and it's like, oh, this is like small bombs. Interesting. He leaves the cave, and it's like basically like on a mountainside. So like they're like going around a mountain. It's like very little tight little path. And then the dude shows up. I don't remember his name, but he was with Lady Farnese. I went and got her when Guts took her. And he's like, I would almost call him like a fencer. I get like fence vibes from him, you know, while like Guts is swordsman. And he ambushed him there and waited for him. And now they're fighting on like this super, super small path. And he is like a really good fighter. I assume Guts is gonna win, but it might take a bit from him. At the same time, we have Isidro helping the girls escaping. And they're using like rope and everything. Because it's like they're basically on a cliffside. And it's like really, really dangerous there right now. The next chapter is literally called The Cliff. So I assume you're gonna be here and have this fight. And we shall see how it goes. The whole reunion thing. I'm getting goosebumps again. I just want Casca and Guts to be happy, and I know it's never gonna happen, and it makes me depressed. That's all I want in life. I am so frustrated! Okay, so Guts is, you know, finding the dude, and he like captures his sword in his hand, and the dude is like really surprised. Guts uses his weapon on him, but the dude managed to like take the weapon and use it against Guts, but like then runs away because he realizes this maybe is a fight he can win, and it's saying like, this is too serious for me. So I'm moving on, finding him another time. At the same time, Nina sees her boyfriend Joachim that I think died, and then they get taken by the Iron Chain Knights. Casca runs after her and like literally jumps down a cliff, super badass. Like she clearly has her old skills there. And this very shocking runs after her. Isidro lost them because they got taken. So when Guts catches up to them, they're taken, and he's obviously not happy. And we see Casca riding away with Lady Farnese. So they were reunited for like 4.1 seconds. And Lady Farnese saw that Guts jumped in to save Casca, so she knows he cares about her. So I don't think that's gonna be a good thing. Yeah, now we need to hunt them. And they got a reunion for like half a page, but it's fine. It's fine. I'm sad now. Next chapter, captives. Okay, makes sense, I guess. Guts is obviously going after them together with some of the other like friends of Nina and Casca, that the ones that took them in. Then we have Puck looking for them inside like the tower castle thingy, you know, where people were being tortured earlier. And then we shift over to Nina and Casca in their cell. And then someone is coming like, oh, I'm going to take one of you, doesn't matter who. And then Nina kind of doesn't protest when they take Casca. And they were like, oh, you just let other people be taken for you. So we take you instead. And she's like, no. And she's asking for courage and she's just very scared. I'm just thinking that none of this would have happened if Nina absolutely didn't take Casca with her when to escape randomly earlier, right before Guts was there. All of this would now happened. Poor Nina, it's not completely her fault. She's in a very cruel world. Either way. And then they're taking her to like the chamber where lots of people are being tortured and she sees this and is obviously very, very scared. Right before this, she was also mad at Casca for like everything happening and it's all her fault. And then she said sorry. So she's clearly has a lot of turmoil feelings, which I totally get after everything that's happening. And yeah, I'm hoping Guts will come and save them, but I do think he will be too late for Nina. That's what I think. So we shall see. Next chapter is the Iron Maiden. Isn't that a band? We shall see. We shall see what happens. Torture. Ooh, how fun. What just happened? I don't even know. First, we have Lady FAES, I think, getting fired. They're telling her to go back home or something because she's too lazy to be where everything is happening. Like the leader of the holy people. Then she's mad at like the dude who fought Guts earlier. He's like, you blabbed to my father about what I've been doing. And then he was like, no, ma'am. And then we see Nina blabbed out everything about Casca and everyone after she got tortured like with one fingernail. I don't know how I would break under torture, but they were basically like, you took like 4 seconds to break. So there was that and she was like crying. And then we switch over to them like transferring Casca, and then Lady FAES tells like the abbot dude that Gus really tried to save her and he thinks that she's now connected to the Black Swordsman and people call her like the sorcerer. So like the heretics, like, or heretics as they are or are not, calls her that. So he thinks that they like, what could say, praise her, I don't know, look up to her, take her into this like big Iron Maiden thingy where she's supposed to be trapped. But then the like door splashes open because it activates with her mark, and lots of like demon-like thingies with hands and faces holds around her and like kills a lot of people like standing trying to close her in this Iron Maiden box thing. And then the abbot is like, what is going on? And that's how it ends. So yeah, the demons look a bit upon Casca as their queen because of what happened between her and Griffith. I don't know. Poor Casca, like how she's being treated right now, I don't like it. Next chapter is Blood Flow of the Dead part 1. So we shall see what this gives us. Okay, so all like the monsters showed up because of Casca's mark, and everyone, they basically like overwhelming all the guards and everyone, like they're just killing people and devouring them. I don't know if like the leader dude, I don't even remember what his name was, Father Musk or something, was taken, but it seems like Casca like was like basically like and swarmed by these monsters and it became like a huge blob. I hope they get her out of that. But either way, the people there were very shocked because they were basically like, these things shouldn't exist because they keep existing, like monsters, etc. shouldn't exist. Because even though they keep fighting them and meeting them, they just blame it all on heretics, I guess. Or just think it's hallucinations. So Lady FAES is escaping with her vice commander dude, but then Gus shows up and grabs Lady FAES, is like, where is Casca? And she's like, she's in the torture chamber. And don't want to go back, but he forces her, so they're going back there, and Gus is very close to like losing his shit. That's what's going on. They're going back there now. Hopefully he can get her out of being a huge blob. Now we have Blood Flow of the Dead part 2. Okay, we are now finished with volume 19 actually. But what happened? First we see Luca saving Nina with the help of Jamon, who was her boyfriend, or like one of their customers, but now her boyfriend. And he's like, I will abandon my duty to go follow you guys. And she's like, ah. And then also Nina wanted to lie about where Casca was because she knew that the basement was unsafe. What a little unloyal person, huh? They're about to go down to the basement, but then are being attacked by like huge monster head thingies. And then we switch scenes over to Gus, and they arrive in the basement with Lady FAES. He finds Puck, who says that while other people devoured and died, Casca's presence never changed. He thinks she's still safe. And then Gus is like, okay, they're gonna follow her, like all the other people in the basement died. And Lady FAES also follows them. And then we switch over to like the priest dude. I don't think he actually was the priest. What was his name again? I don't remember. the like dude that was like the torturer main dude, and he's like, oh, our fate will now be tested, because they like locked themselves into a room, and then they open the door, and then like a lot of monsters attack them, and then there's also like this monster thing coming down from the ceiling. It looks like a spider. It's ready to test his fate there. And that was the end of volume 19, and now I'm going into volume 20. The first chapter being called The Spider's Thread. And then we have a really weird picture of Casca with a weird demon baby in her hands. So I don't even know what's going on. But let's go, I guess. I honestly don't understand what happened in this chapter. But basically we have Luca and the gang running up the stairs in like a tower. And then like the monsters are coming behind them. And then suddenly like a big flame explosion happens in front of them. Because Father Muscus, which I found out his name is, somehow defeated a big blob of like clumps that was Casca. Now he's holding Casca unconscious in his hands, and it's like, I need to burn this lady on the stake to show that I don't even know what he needs to show, okay? But he needs to burn her on the stake. And the others are like, let her go. And then he's like, oh, you're against my message. So he sends like a jailer at him, who like is super huge and strong, so obviously like not even fully human. And then he like basically makes a hole in the tower they are in and throws them out, and they're like hanging by each other to not fall out and die. And then at the same time we have Gus running around with Lady Fernice trying to look for them. But yeah, that was crazy. Hope Casca doesn't get burned on the stake, you know, would be pretty sad. Everything is insane. Okay, so Luca and everyone is hanging outside the tower. Luca lets go so that they can drag up Nina. I thought that Nina would actually let Luca go, but Luca let go herself. And then a skeleton knight shows up and saves her. And they're all on the ground, and these little creatures coming towards them. And then he says, show yourself, but you don't actually get to see what it is yet. At the same time, they manage to drag up Nina from like falling down, and then they turn around and the jailer is like throwing a chain at them. And then Gut shows up in the last moment and saves them. And obviously the father is still holding Casca right in front of him, and he's obviously attacking them because he wants Casca back. And then they all turn, like they get wings. I don't know what's going on, but they're all supernatural creatures apparently this whole time. So they've just been gaslighting Lady Fernice when she said she saw monsters. They were just gaslighting her like, that isn't real, that isn't possible, I can't believe it. Very rude, but look, they're like, that's not something human. Now Gus needs to fight them. They're pretending to be humans, it seems like now. I don't even know. Also, that chapter, I forgot to say, was called Those Who Dance at the Summit, Those Who Creep in the Depths. It was a really long, poetic chapter title. Next one is called Hell's Angels. I mean, they do look kind of a bit angel-y, and they're clearly not on the good side. So good titles, dang it. So this whole chapter was just Guts finding these angel-like creatures. He is swinging his sword around. It is very cool. It is very stressful. That's basically the whole chapter. It looks super awesome. I don't know how to explain to you if you haven't read it, like how good it looks and like how cool he is and how much I love him. But yeah, he's just looking at Casca like one step further. And then the others are also there and being like unsure if they need help or not. And Lady Fernice also comes and sees this, and she's like, what the fuck is going on? Next chapter is One Unknown in the Depths of Depths. What are these very poetic titles? Let's go. What? Sorry. Okay. We now had a whole chapter focusing on Luca, who's with Skeleton Knight. This little egg thing shows up with legs and takes her down to the depths and talks about their life and how they lived on the ground, and then corpses come and landed on top of them, and they were buried until these 5 angels shows up, and in exchange for a favor they would grant their wish, which was like to create a perfect world. This creature egg thing looks a lot like the Bellhite, and for a moment it looked like Luca held the Bellhite, but I'm not sure if they just look similar or if it's the same thing, because the Bellhite was something completely different, you know, that Griffith had to become Demon Lord or whatever. Part of the God Hand. It seems like this creature thing maybe is working together with Father Muscus or whatever. I don't even know, honestly, but yeah, it was a weird chapter. A lot of death and stuff. I didn't even know. I guess it makes sense soon. But yeah, next chapter is called The Threatened. I feel threatened by the emotions I am having, so there's that. Okay, so over half of this chapter is the egg having a speech about the world and how they fill the world with death and bodies or something. I don't even know. And then the egg talked about like how he saw these two girls, Nina and Luca, and how they were kind to each other. I don't even know. That's not what he said. He was very poetic. I didn't really get it, but yeah. And then we switch over to Gus, who's still fighting, and then for Reese is like, what is going on? And then Nina is scared. And that's it. So yeah, I don't really know what Egg wants. He ended his whole speech with like, the ugly, the craven, blah 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 blah. They who cling as they hate, there is but one thing we truly desire. It is the first and last piece, deceivingly missing from this world. Namely, and then we don't get to know what this is because we switch over to Guts trying to stab people. There is that. And now we're gonna go back to the fight and maybe find out what we're missing from this world. I really want to know. Please tell me. Next chapter is called Omens. that was short. Okay, so the other angels tells Father Moscas to just go on to take Casca, and Guts tries to stop him, but it's like being held back by the other angels. Then we move back to Luca again, who finds out the truth. I don't really know if we found out the whole thing, because we kind of cut in the middle of the conversation. So she's like, no, that can possibly be true, but we don't really know the truth, because as I said, we cut it. So I guess that will be revealed later. Then the eggs leaves, because the skeleton knight comes down to like stab him, but then he leaves. And then says Luca again, and then this huge other black blob shows up, and I think they're gonna fight that. And then the next one is Martyrdom. Who's gonna die? Or is it just that? I don't even know. But poor Guts. Casca's been taken from him once again. I guess it was called Martyrdom because all the angels died. Guts managed to defeat them. He got a bit hurt though. And Lady Vernice saw this and was shocked. Also, the little boy, Isidore, like rode on with Father Moscas on his back because he took Casca, and he's like there and screaming. And our earthquake is happening. So yeah, then we have collapse, which I assume is because of the earthquake. Whole tower collapsed, but it's also because like a lot of like demon creatures were in the ground where Luca and the skeleton knight were, and it all went up. So then the tower collapsed, and a lot of people there were like shocked. The people waiting for Lady Vernice because they were on the outside, and the people in the tower were falling. Lady Vernice almost fell, but then the vice commander came and saved her. And then we see the whole tower collapsing, and it looks kind of cool, but also very dramatic. Next chapter is called Shadows of Idea, Part 1. Yay. There was a noisy bird outside my window right before I filmed, but it's fine. So what happened is that a lot of like demon creatures are loose, and they attacked the camp, which was outside the tower. And they attacked him in like a pattern that shapes the mark, because the Guts gets out and looks down at them. And then like he sees like the mark shaped in like a lot of people basically dying. And then also he's standing in a huge hand, which is, you know, ironic, you know, the god hand. And then the Father Moscas shows up with Casca in his hat, and he's like, don't be afraid, people. We're going to burn this witch, and then everything will be okay, basically. And they're just like, oh my god, they're angels. But they're not. And now we have Shadows of Idea Part 2. Everything is fine. It's great. Okay, so basically they're making ready a big thing to burn Casca. She's like put down with the people who are all like ripping her clothes and like attacking her and being like, burn her at the stake. And they're taking her bound at the stake now. Guts is trying to get her, but he's being stopped by like demon blobs. And then when he attacks them, they kind of just seems like they're not real, but they keep like being in his way still. I'm a bit confused if they were real or not. So yeah, he's trying to get her. It's going great. Next one is Shadows of Idea Part 3. And everything, by the way, that Guts is doing is like in a huge hand with lots of blobs coming after him. So it looks really nice, but he's gonna get you in time. It's fine. It's fine. Everything will be fine. This sun became very intense, but this almost made me cry because Guts is like trying to get to Casca, and he's just like, again, I can't save her. Again, I'm not enough, kind of. Like, they literally have the whole world against them, and he still thinks it's all on his shoulders and dying. Okay, I'm not gonna cry, but then we see Luca with the skeleton knight. She's going back in to try to get to the others, even though, and he just think her, I guess, as a pure and good person, because she doesn't even try to ask him for help. And then we have the skeleton knight turning around, and then like the wolf dude shows up again. I don't remember his name, but we fought him many times. I thought he was dead, to be honest. And I guess he's gonna fight him now. And then he says that no matter what Guts do now, the paths are already decided. So like it's parallels, whatever what's gonna happen has already happened in a way. And then we see the egg running and it's dying. And then he has like a really weird baby that it says, let us die together. Because of this baby, I have managed to survive so far. hope you can dream of this new world, little baby. It's a weird baby. I don't even know what this egg is doing. Oh, we are done with volume 20. I didn't realize. I just had to turn a page. My dad came in and talked to me. But yeah, we are starting volume 21. I don't know what I just said because my dad talked for so long. Chapter Leaping Fish. How fun. Hope the fish that leaps is Casca into a better world than the one she's in now. My dad thought I was speaking to him. Okay, the sun became way too much. I took down the curtain. I'm a bit pink now, but at least I'm not being completely blinded. Casca actually starts to burn on the fire, just a bit on her dress. But then Isidoro like literally jumps down in a rope and grabs her and manages to like get her up again in like this crane thing. So he saves the day, and I'm so happy. And then finally gets free for like fighting those mobs over and over and over, and attacks Father Moskos or whatever his name is. And it was a really cool scene, and I was very happy. And so the prophecy came true where like we saw her burn on the fire, but she's not dead and she didn't burn. So now I'm hoping Guts kills this Moskos dude. That's all I want now because he was annoying. Beastial Priest Part 1. Let's go. Basically in this one, Father Moskos turns into this huge beast. Instead of having wings, he has fists. And they start to fight. And Guts has been distracted a bit because Casca's almost been taken by like two small creature things with other wings. Isidore is protecting her. That's what we got. So yeah, now it's Beastial Priest Part 2. Okay, so we have Guts still fighting Beastial Priest, which is really difficult. And then we have like these two twins, that I call them, trying to snatch up Casca. But then Pac comes to the rescue and it's like going in and bangs them up, and then they are like defeated. And also then Nina tried to run away, and then she was almost snatched by the twins right before Puck pinched them, and then she fell down. But then I think she survived in like a heap. She's just a selfish little bitch. I don't like her. But either way, we're gonna fight this Beast of Priest. Now we have those who cling, those who struggle. I love these chapter titles, by the way, a lot. In this whole thing, we just have Guts and the Beast Priest fighting, and then the people can see them because they're kind of like on top of things. People see up to them and like are all like cheering for the priest and be like, defeat him. The black is evil because like he has black arms because Black Swordsman. And then like his whole thing is like, well, people shouldn't cling to one man. They're all stupid. I'm gonna stab you. And then in the end, he does stab him like through his throat. But I don't think the fight is over because every time you think he's defeated, they fight for 3 more chapters. But yeah, he stabbed him. And now we have the next one, which is called Tidal Way of Darkness Part 1. So let's see. I love the fights though. They look amazing. But like, there's not that much to say, you know? Okay, so Guts manages to fling the priest beast over the edge. And they fell down in among the people. And then they're like, and then it turns into many different beasts that just eating and attacking the people. Or like faces, I don't even know what to call them, monsters. And they're all like, oh, kill her, like to Casca because like they think she's behind all this, obviously. And then she starts to panic a bit, and then Guts hugs her. I can't. I'm gonna cry. I feel like I waited so long for them to reunite, and I just can't. Don't look at me. Either way, so they're hugging right now. Tidal Way of Darkness Part 2. The angel beast dude turned into many different beasts that basically is killing thousands of people that was like down there praying, watching, whatever they were doing. And yeah. Which is obviously not good, but I don't care about them. Let's go. Okay, so a Tidal Way of Darkness is literally a Tidal Way of Darkness coming. Like, they are taking and killing all the people down below. And then they're trying to run into the tower to get out to the high ground. And like, they'll like locking people out. We have... what's her name again? Nina down on the ground, obviously because she fell down there earlier, and then she started to run, but she can't because she broken her foot. Luca comes to save her in the last moment and puts her in a barrel to save her. I don't know where Luca hid because the tidal wave was coming. Then we go over to Duck gets on them, and they're like gonna stand together against the wave because they have until morning to survive, you know, because that's not when the monsters are out. And now they, I think, is gonna survive fight. Can Nina die now? That's what I want. Sorry! I'm sorry. Okay. Next chapter is Resonance. Let's go. Okay, so we basically just have them resisting them on each side, holding out flames, because that's done when I don't touch them and need to hold out. We have Nina hiding in her barrel. Apparently everyone is dying. Like, the whole tower is being overwhelmed. Everyone is dying, and Nina is surviving in this damn barrel. Either way, all the like dead souls are like climbing upwards and covering this hand. I literally don't know how to describe it. It looks insane. And I think this is the Balhaite. It has to be. Because the Bellite is like, everything will be fulfilled by one voice. And then we have like this. That is the Bellite, right? I'm not completely insane. But either way, that's what's going on. The sky falls is the next one. Is the sky gonna fall? I hope not, because they need the sky to survive. It's all good. It's all fine. No one has died yet that we care about. We shall see. I'm just waiting for the priest to come back. You know, that's Berserk. I don't know what happened in this one. We have like everything falling and then like explosions. I don't even know. Like everything is falling everywhere and a daybreak. it's like the sun came out. So I have no idea what happened. The next chapter is called Daybreak. I think the whole tower fell. I honestly don't even know. Literally everyone died, but obviously I don't think Guts and the others are dead. It was really beautiful, but I do not know how to describe it in words. Let's read Daybreak. What is even going on right now? So we have them coming out of the rubble. Nina survived in her barrel. Luca survived in a well. They all like, oh, we survived. Oh my god. Everyone died in the tower except like Jermone, obviously Puck, Isidore, you know, obviously Casca and Guts. And then Kushan shows up, the like assassin people, whatever, and now they're fighting them, and they're just like trying to take like Casca and them hostage or whatever, and they're fighting them, and you know, Vice Commander is helping. And then some of the Chain Arrow Knight shows up, Asan, who was like, you know, with Lady Fernice earlier. And then Sod shows up. And I was just like, what? With Skeleton Knight. And then Guts sees them and he's like super shocked. And then the chapter, next one is called The Arrival. Is that the last one? It might be 2 more. That was like so random, like so many different random characters that I saw like 440 volumes ago showed up. And it was just a bit funny. Please just don't separate Casca and Guts. Before that, by the way, Guts took his clothes around Casca because she was cold and I wanted to cry. So that's where my level of emotions are at. Okay, so that's why he looks so shocked. Sorry, I have not even done with the chapter, but guess what? Guess who showed up, huh? I'm so what? Oh, guess who showed up, huh? Guess who showed up? After all this time, he says, I didn't recognize him at first even, because last time we saw him, he looked disgusting. At that moment, all over there forgot to breathe and were enthralled. And then we zoom in and Guts who says Griffith. And Griffith stands in front of Sod. And that's why Griffith was so shocked a moment ago, obviously. I didn't even realize that Griffith would show up. That didn't even fall into my mind. What is going on? I had to stop just to say that. I'm going to keep reading. And they sense intuitively that the one they had desired had come. Truly. Truly. Sorry, now I'm reading while talking to you because I can't stop. Okay. Okay. The chapter literally ended right after I stopped filming. Sod is fighting Kashan people. And then Griffith looks, I'm sorry to say, stunning. What happened? What? And Casca's like totally freaking out. And like, I don't know if she even like tried to warn people about Griffith or if she wants to go to him. I don't even know. But the next chapter is called Determination and Departure. So I'm assuming they're leaving here. And I think maybe it's the last chapter. It looks like it. I don't understand anything. But okay, let's read the last thing. And that was the last chapter for the volume. What to say? It was really like, I actually like felt like the end then almost. I'm surprised if we're not into a new arc in the next one. Or at least a new arc, a new chapter under the Conviction arc. But either way, we have Guts going off with Casca and also Isidro. He's going off with Casca and Isidro, who's following them. And Nina and the others are like by themselves. Also, the whole Kushan army shows up. Nina goes off by herself and Joachim shows up. I thought he was dead, but okay. And they go off on their own because she thinks she will help herself if she stayed with Luca forever to protect. Luca would just protect her. So she, for some reason, survived and is now with them. And then we had Lady Fernice deciding to go with Guts. She will follow him as if he is now her saint. He's the only one standing in the darkness alone, she has realized. And is now, I guess, on his side. Vice Commander's with them. So we are growing this team and I don't like it because that means they're gonna die in the future. And I would never realize I would like Lady Fernice, but here we are. So yeah, they're gonna follow them. So yeah, we shall see what happens with Casca and Guts. Griffith was there for a moment. I don't know what's going on with him. I don't understand. I understand, but I don't understand. But yeah, it was amazing. It was breathtaking. we basically, this whole volume was just saving Casca in this tower, and a lot of shit happened. And yeah, I guess we're saying goodbye to some characters, if I'm not incorrect for now, but they might show up later. And it was absolutely beautiful and stunning, and I absolutely loved it. I feel like while this was totally crazy and like obviously bloody and terrible with many terrible scenes happening, I feel like it was still like a calm down. I'm not over the eclipse still. That has traumatized me for the rest of my life. Will anything ever beat the eclipse? Not that I wanted to like beat it. I don't want everyone to suffer, but I feel like will the emotional devastation I felt in that ever be beaten? I wonder. Because like if he manages that, and I'm like, what? So yeah, like every time I read this, my heart hurts because I just love everyone so much and I want him to be okay. I'm done. It was a full ride full of so many emotions. I love it dearly. I hope you have enjoyed this little video. Thank you so much for watching and joining me on my Berserk journey. I can't believe Griffith, I was gonna say finally showed his ass, because I've been waiting for him, and that they are finally reunited, and now we shall see what happens in the next one. Leave a little fairy emoji down below if you enjoyed this in honor of Puck, and you shall see me soon in a new video. Yeah, thank you so much for watching this, and I'm gonna go and be emotional. Goodbye.